So the wonderful and amazing Gavin Newsom, who eventually wants to be president of the United States, and I'm sure this little antic that he's doing right now, or agency he's created, is part of that buying of the black vote to ensure his presidency. Anyways, what happened on October 10th, 2025 is Governor Gavin Newsom passed a bill that creates an agency to start kind of heading in the direction of paying reparations to black people for what happened during slavery. Now, that's a complicated issue all in itself, right? Like, if you're just looking at it in the reproductive or genetic sense, does somebody that's 1/10 original African-American slave get the same amount as somebody that's fully lineage, if that's even possible, or a descendant completely from that time period and the people that went through those horrific conditions? It's a really complicated issue, right? And how do you answer it? And I don't think the goal here is to answer it. I don't even think socially this is healthy to bring up this kind of talk, but it seems that the debate's never going to end. And the question is as well, is any amount of money ever going to be a solution for what happened in the past? And again, who should pay that money, right? Did everybody here that right now on this earth somehow benefit from slavery? Did everybody somehow contribute to slavery? It's a complicated issue, right? Like, who is going to pay this bill? If the government is the entity that feels guilty for what happened back then and feels the necessity to pay it, where is the government going to get the funds outside of the taxpayer? And then is the taxpayer responsible for what happened? Because as you can tell from this video, my skin color is Caucasian, but my family members were never in the United States during that time period. In fact, I am first generation immigrant. And so why would my tax dollars have to go to something like this? And then again, why would anybody in today's era have to pay tax money to people that never actually suffered the horrific tragedies of slavery? And again, I know it's a complicated, evolving issue, right? It goes into social, economic demographics and what people are suffering because of that. But I think there's more going on with this whole reparations debate. I think it's more harmful to society because it places a specific group of people feeling that they don't belong or feeling that they are less than. Regardless of how you look at it, it's subconsciously playing in the role. It's playing the role of creating huge division amongst races. I don't think this talk of reparations is healthy in any way at the way it's going. Is it a discussion everybody should have about slavery? Absolutely. Is reparations like a discussion? Yeah, everybody. We should be able to discuss everything. But what's the outcome that everybody wants? Is it going to be healthy if any reparations are paid? And when I say healthy, I mean for society itself. Because who are you going to give this money to and how much and from whom? It's a really complicated issue that I don't think can be solved. And again, at the end of the day, what amount of money will solve that issue? No amount of money can solve an issue for those kind of horrific treatments. And how do you give back to those people that went through those treatments? How can you go back? And unless we have a time traveling machine, I don't think we can. So we can't solve the issue this way. I think the thing that Governor Gavin Newsom is doing here, and it's the only thing he's actually doing, and I hope people kind of even grasp that that is what he is doing, is he's buying the black vote. I think with what happened with President Donald Trump becoming president, it kind of sent a shockwave to Democrats that they don't own the black vote anymore. And I think this sensitive topic of slavery and reparations, which they've been socially engineering to be a very manipulative sociological and psychological issue and topic, is one that they are going back on right now with Governor Gavin Newsom by simply implementing and saying, we're setting up an agency to pay reparations. I personally don't think they're going to pay anybody reparations. I think this is just a gimmick or action of good faith to make African Americans believe that Democrats are on their side and doing everything they can for them so that African Americans vote for them. And this is a very sensitive topic, obviously, for both sides of the spectrum, for every race. And it's a complicated sociological issue that I don't think you can just finish and deal with and solve through reparations. So at the end of the day, again, I think this is a gross psychological tactic to buy the African American vote. This whole idea of reparations isn't going to happen. And again, who's going to pay it? To whom? It's not a simple black issue. Oh, this person's black, they're going to get the money. And I hope African American people don't let themselves be fooled that they're all going to get a check, because that's not going to happen. The government doesn't just give away money unless it expects something back.